Hello, good afternoon, students. Let us continue the power system stability. We have discussed many basics in last class. Let us continue our discussion. The system consists of a synchronous generator connected to the infinite bus through the parallel transmission line as shown in figure. The synchronous generator is connected to a large interconnected electric power system networks. These networks have important characteristics that the system voltage at the point of connection is constant in magnitude, phase angle, and frequency. Such point in power system is referred to as an infinite bus. That is, the voltage at the generator bus will not be altered by changes in the generator's operating condition. Fault at different sections of the power system are considered for small disturbances and the system behavior is observed. The faults may occur A at the generator bus and B at the middle of the transmission line and C at the infinite bus. The system is sensitive to large disturbances and may not regain synchronism. In the two-axis model, the transient effects are accounted while the subtransient effects are neglected. The transient effects are dominated by the rotor circuits, which are the field circuits in the d-axis and an equivalent circuit in the q-axis formed by the solid rotor. An additional assumption is made in this model is that the starter voltage equations in terms of flux linkages derivatives are negligible compared to the speed voltage terms. The machine will thus have two stator circuits and two rotor axes. However, the number of differential equations describing these circuits is same. All right. Now we will discuss the power angle relationship. The power angle relationship of the power system consists of. Now see, this is uh, this is the single machine infinite bus system. The figure shows single machine infinite bus system. In this section, we will consider the relation for lumped parameter losses in transmission lines. Consider the single machine infinite bus system. It is shown in figure. In this, reactance X includes the reactance of the transmission line and the synchronous reactance or the transient reactance of the generator. The sending end voltage is then the internal EMF of the generator. Let the sending end and receiving end voltage is given by the equation Vs is equal to V1 angle delta and Vr is equals to V2 angle 0. Right? Then we have the sending end current is given by V1 angle delta minus V2 divided by Jx. That is equals to V1 cos delta minus V2 plus JV1 sin delta by Jx. The sending end real power and reactive power are given by the equation P plus JQS is equals to Vs Is. Is is a conjugate of sending end current is equals to V1 into cos delta plus J sin delta into V1 cos delta minus V2 minus JV1 sin delta divided by minus Jx. And this is the equation. This is simplified to JPS plus JQS. The real and reactive power, then it is equals to PS plus JQS is equal to V1 V2 sin delta plus J V1 square minus V1 V2 cos delta by X. Since the losses, since the line is lossless, the real power dispatched from the sending end is equal to the real power received at the receiving end. We can therefore write uh, power, that is the sending end power, is equals to receiving end power, that is equals to total power, that is equal to V1 V2 by X sin delta, that is equals to P sin delta, that is represented in this equation 4. When P maximum is equals to V1 V2 by X is the maximum power that can be transferred over the transmission line. The power angle curve is shown in figure, in this figure. This is the power angle curve, right? Okay. Now the swing equation. Now the swing equation. A swing equation. Let us consider a three-phase synchronous alternator that is driven by a prime mover. The equation of the motion of the machine rotor is given by J d square theta by dt square, that is equals to T m minus Te, that is equals to Ta, that is the average torque. J is the moment of inertia and Tm is the mechanical torque supplied by the prime mover, and Te is the electrical torque output of the alternator, and angle theta is the angular position of the rotor in radians. The angular position theta is measured with a stationary reference frame. To represent it with respect to the synchronous rotating frame, we define theta is equals to omega t plus delta, where delta is the angular position radians with respect to the synchronously rotating reference frame. Taking time derivative of the above equation, now we can get S is equal to V1 angle delta minus V2 minus JXR, that is equal to V1 cos delta minus V2 plus JV1 sin delta by JX. Defining the angular speed of the motor as omega r is equal to d theta by dt, and omega r minus omega s is equal to d delta by theta. We can therefore conclude that the rotor angular speed is equal to the synchronous speed only when d delta by dt is equals to 0. We can therefore term d delta by dt as the error in speed. Taking derivative of equation 8, the above we can write equation 6 as j delta square j d square delta by dt square is equals to tm minus te is equals to ta. Multiplying both sides this equation by omega m, we get j omega r d square delta by dt square is equals to pm minus pa, that is equals to pa. Pm, pe and pa are active respectively are the mechanical, electrical and the acceleration power in megawatts.